E-And is not simply another telecom operator listed in the UAE. It was originally established as Etisalat in 1976, and in Feb 2022 it rebranded as E-And to reflect its transformation from a traditional telecom operator into a global technology and investment group with operations across the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and Europe. For investors, E&N offers exposure to one of the largest telecom groups in the region, along with a growing portfolio of enterprise, fintech, digital lifestyle, and international investments. So, is E&N a stock worth tracking? Let's break it down. E&N is listed on the Abu Dhabi Securities Exchange under the ticker symbol E&. Its legal name remains Emirates Telecommunications Group Company (PJSC), and it has been publicly traded since June 2002. One important detail for investors is that the Emirates Investment Authority, which is the UAE's federal sovereign wealth fund, holds approximately 60% of the company, with the remaining 40% held as free float. That level of anchor ownership matters because it links E&N directly to a federal strategic stake and gives the company a stable long-term shareholder base. The company is structured around 5 business pillars. First, E&N UAE, the core domestic telecom business offering mobile, fixed line, broadband, ICT, and wholesale services. Second, E&N International, the international operations which include Maroc Telecom across Morocco and Africa, PDCL and Ufone in Pakistan, Etisalat Egypt, Etisalat Afghanistan, and E&N PPF Telecom across Bulgaria, Hungary, Serbia, and Slovakia. Third, E&N Enterprise, which provides cloud, cybersecurity, IoT, and AI solutions to governments and large corporates. Fourth, E&N Live, which houses the group's consumer digital businesses, including a majority stake in the Kareem Everything app, eVision, and Stars Play streaming, and E&N Money for mobile payments. And fifth, E&N Capital, the group's venture and investment arm. This diversified structure matters because E&N is not entirely dependent on UAE telecom revenue. Its international, enterprise, and digital businesses now contribute a growing share of overall growth. Today, E&N operates across 38 countries with an aggregate subscriber base of 244.7 million by the end of 2025, an increase of over 31% year-on-year, driven by both organic subscriber growth and the consolidation of the PPF telecom assets in Central and Eastern Europe. Now let's look at the numbers. According to E&N's official FY 2025 results announcement published on en.com, consolidated revenue for the full year 2025 reached 72.9 billion dirhams, an increase of 23% compared with the previous year. Consolidated net profit reached 14.4 billion dirhams, an increase of 34%, a record for the group. Both are the highest results in the company's history. Revenue growth was broad-based, driven by continued expansion at E&N UAE, strong performance in Egypt and Pakistan, and the full-year consolidation of PPF Telecom, which was completed in October 2024. For dividend-focused investors, this is an important point. At the 2026 Annual General Meeting, shareholders approved a full-year 2025 dividend of 90 fils per share. The board has also announced its intention to distribute a dividend of 95 fils per share for the 2026 financial year, extending the group's progressive dividend policy. The first quarter of 2026 continued the growth trajectory. According to E&N's official Q1 2026 earnings published on en.com, consolidated revenue reached 19.4 billion dirhams, up 15% year-on-year. Consolidated EBITDA increased 16.5% to 8.6 billion dirhams, with a healthy EBITDA margin of 44%. Within the telecom vertical specifically, the EBITDA margin reached 48.2%, a level that reflects strong operating discipline in the core business. Net profit after federal royalty and corporate tax amounted to 2.9 billion dirhams. Adjusted for the base year impact of the Khazanah disinvestment gain, this represents a 3.9% increase. Capital expenditure in the quarter was 2.8 billion dirhams, with capex intensity of 14.6%, reflecting continued investment in 5G rollout, fiber expansion, and international network upgrades. The balance sheet remained strong. Cash balance stood at 36.8 billion dirhams at the end of March 2026, and net debt to EBITDA was just 0.90 times, a very manageable leverage level for a global telecom group. The vertical breakdown for Q1 2026 tells a clear story. E&N UAE revenue grew 6.5% to 8.7 billion dirhams, supported by a subscriber base of 15.7 million. E&N International revenue surged 66.6% to 8.5 billion dirhams, largely reflecting the consolidation of PPF Telecom and strong contributions from Egypt and Pakistan. E&N Enterprise revenue grew 21.9% to 836 million dirhams, driven by rising demand for cybersecurity, cloud, and IoT services. And EN Life grew 33.7% to 647 million, supported by continued expansion of Careem and EN Money. There have also been major strategic developments to track. In early 2025, EN completed the disinvestment of its 40% stake in Khazana data centers for approximately $2.2 billion or around 8 billion dirhams, with the proceeds used to reduce group debt. In October 2024, EN completed the acquisition of a controlling stake in PPF Telecom Group, extending its telecom footprint into Bulgaria, Hungary, Serbia, and Slovakia, and adding more than 10 million customers. In March 2026, Ufone in Pakistan acquired 5G spectrum from the Pakistan Telecommunication Authority, making the country's entry into the 5G era. In June 2026, Uber announced an agreement to acquire a 12.5% stake in Careem Technologies from EN for $100 million, which upon completion will reduce EN's Careem ownership from 50.03% to 37.53%. EN also continues to hold a significant stake in Vodafone Group plc, reaching approximately 17.09% by the end of March 2026, a passive increase driven by Vodafone's ongoing share buyback program. Another major point to note is leadership transition. Hatem Dawoodar stepped down as Group's Chief Executive Officer on March 31, 2026, after 6 years in the role. He was succeeded on April 1, 2026 by Masood M. Sharif Mahmood, who had previously served as CEO of EN UAE since 2021 and now holds both roles concurrently. For an investor, a leadership transition at group level is always a moment to watch for continuing in strategy, capital allocation discipline, and dividend policy. From an investor's perspective, there are 5 things to monitor closely. First, the pace of subscriber growth across the group's 38-country footprint, particularly in Egypt, Pakistan, and the newly consolidated CEE markets. Second, whether EN International can continue to deliver strong reported growth given the PPF Telecom consolidation benefits will normalize into a like-for-like base by late 2026. Third, EBITDA margins in the telecom verticals, currently at 48.2% in Q1 2026, and whether they can be sustained as international mix increases. Fourth, capital allocation discipline, particularly around future M&A activity, and whether the Careem stake reduction to Uber signals a broader portfolio rationalization. And fifth, whether the progressive dividend policy remains intact, with a target of 95 fils per share for the 2026 financial year. EN is not a pure UAE telecom story like Do. It is also not a pure infrastructure play. It is a diversified global technology and telecom group with a core UAE telecom business, growing international exposure across 4 continents, expanding digital and enterprise verticals, and a strategic stake in Vodafone. So, is EN stock worth tracking? Yes. The company has delivered record revenue and record net profit in 2025, investing meaningfully in 5G, AI, and cloud infrastructure, has a strong balance sheet with net debt to EBITDA under 1x, and offers a growing dividend backed by a clear progressive policy. But investors should continue to monitor currency translation risk in Egypt and Pakistan, the base effect from Khazana disinvestment on 2026 comparisons, the impact of the CEO transition on strategic execution, and valuation carefully. A record year is not automatically a buy at every price. As always, review the latest official financial statements on en.com and the ADX disclosure portal before making any investment decision. This video is for educational and information purposes only. It is not investment advice or a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any security. Please conduct your own research or consult a licensed financial advisor before making investment decisions.